Good morning, students. In the last class, we studied about human respiratory system, and today we will study about mechanism of breathing and exchange of gases. In the last class, we studied that respiratory system consists of nostril and nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and lungs. Now, we saw that trachea divides into two main bronchi. One major bronchi enters the right lung and the other enters the left lung. Okay, and the trachea has cartilaginous ring to prevent it from collapsing in between breaths. Now, the lungs lie in the thoracic cavity on the side of the heart, and the thoracic cavity is separated from the abdominal cavity by a muscular partition known as the diaphragm, and then each lung is enclosed into two membrane, that is the pleural membrane. Now within the lung, the two major bronchi further divides into secondary bronchi, which subdivide into smaller tertiary bronchi, and finally into smaller bronchioles. Okay, now these smaller bronchioles then finally lead to alveolar sac, and then they give rise to a bunch of grape like structure that are called alveoli. That means when this within the lung, when this bronchi divides and divides into smaller tubule, that is called bronchioles, which terminate into balloon like structure which are called alveoli. Okay, and alveoli are the site of exchange of gases. That means this alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases takes place. Okay, now the respiratory system is set of organs that allow a person to breathe and exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout the body. So all these integrated system of organs which involve in mechanism of breathing and exchange of gases. Okay, that all constitute a respiratory system. Now what are the features of respiratory surface? Means the organ having respiratory surface is known as respiratory organ. Okay, that means the alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases take place. So let's see what are the features of the respiratory surface. Now respiratory surface consists of thin permeable membrane where which through which respiratory gases can diffuse quickly. That means this wall of alveoli is made up of single layer of thick squamous epithelium cells, and so the walls of the capillaries, and this create a short distance for diffusion of the gases and rapid gaseous exchange. Then these have a large surface area to get enough of the oxygen. Okay, because there are millions of alveoli present here. Then respiratory surface has abundant blood capillaries for quick diffusion and transport of gases. So the walls of the alveoli have extensive network of blood vessels. Okay, next the moist surface. Here you can see, so respiratory surface is kept moist for easy diffusion of gases. So some cells in the alveolar wall secretes fluid that keep the inner surface of alveoli moist, and this allowing gases to dissolve, and this fluid also prevent the sides of the alveoli from sticking together. Okay, thus alveoli are well adapted to gaseous exchange. Okay, now this feature of the respiratory surface, this always comes in the exam. Okay, so please learn this. Next is mechanism of breathing. Now mechanism of breathing consists of inspiration, then an exchange of gases, and then expiration. That means respiratory cycle consists of inhalation and exhalation. Okay, inhalation is intake of fresh air and exhalation is expulsion of foul air. that is passing out of foul air to the outside. Now, the contraction and expansion of lung is brought about by diaphragm muscles and intercostal muscles. Okay, so breathing involves the movement of ribs, diaphragm and intercostal muscle. Okay, now the upward movement and the downward movement of diaphragm, which decreases and increase the diameter of the chest cavity. Okay, and the elevation and the depression of the ribs lengthens and shortens the thoracic cavity. Okay, now it is involuntary process, though it can be prevented for a brief period. Therefore, breathing consists of two steps, that is inspiration, that is breathing in, and breathing out. So we can say that it is a mechanical process by which oxygen enter the lung from air outside and carbon dioxide is removed from the lungs into the environment. Now, inspiration is bringing in of fresh air from outside, and in this case ribs are pushed outward and upward. Okay, the chest expands, that means the thoracic cavity increases in size. Then diaphragm contracts and become nearly flat. Okay, and then air rushes from outside and causes inflation of lungs. Okay, and it is an active process. Okay, now breathing out, that is passing out of foul air to the outside. Okay, so here the chest contracts, that means there is decrease in size of the thoracic cavity. Okay, diaphragm relax and became dome shaped, that is it comes to its original position, and the rib cage here, all these pulled inward and downward. Okay, and hence the air is expelled from lungs causing their deflation. Okay, now let's see how this process occurs. Now, inhalation is bringing of fresh air into lungs for exchange of gases. So, taking in of oxygen through nose, then filtered in nostril by hairs and then mucus, and then air then passes down through the trachea. Okay, now contraction of the external intercostal muscle pushes the rib outward and in upward direction. Okay, which increases the size of the thoracic cavity. Okay, and this brings the diaphragm downward, that means diaphragm contracts and becomes nearly flattened. Okay, now air is entering through the lungs, and here you can see diaphragm is contract. Okay, and this decreases air pressure in the lungs. Okay, so due to the expansion of the chest cavity, air pressure in the lungs decreases, and thus air is sucked into the lungs and it fills the alveoli. That means due to decrease in air pressure in the lungs, okay, air rushes into the lungs, okay, through the external nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles to alveoli. Okay, and while passing through all these respiratory tract, the incoming air is filtered by hair present in nasal cavity, cleansed of dust and microbes through respiratory tract by lysosome, mucus and cilia. Okay, then it is moistened by water vapors from wet epithelium. Okay, so we saw that inhalation is bringing in of fresh air from outside, in which rib is pushed outward and upward, and diaphragm contracts and becomes flat, which decreases the air pressure inside the lungs, and hence the air moves inside. Okay, now next, exhalation is a passive process. Okay, and it is caused by relaxation of the muscles. That means here external intercostal muscle are relaxed, rib cage are then returning to original position, that means inward and downward. Then diaphragm relax and become dome shaped. Okay, and there is decrease in the size of the thoracic cavity. Okay, now this decrease in the size of the thoracic cavity, then air pressure inside the lung increases and hence the air moves out, that is air is expelled out from the lungs. Now next, how the exchange of gases occurs in alveoli. So it is the delivery of oxygen from the lung to the bloodstream and the elimination of carbon dioxide from the bloodstream to the lungs, and it occurs in between lung and the alveoli and a network of the tiny blood vessels. Here you can see these are the blood capillaries and these are the alveolar wall. Okay, and how the blood cells are carrying away the oxygen. Okay, and it's also bringing down the carbon dioxide. So it consists of two, that is external respiration and internal respiration. Okay, that means the exchange of gases between the lung alveoli and capillaries, these two, and then exchange of gases that occurs between blood and tissue. Then from here it is carried away to all parts of the cell. Okay, means as a result the oxygen diffuses from the alveolar air to blood present in the capillaries around the alveoli, and then carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood into alveolar air. Okay, and from here the oxygen is carried away to all the blood vessels. Okay, now how the transport of oxygen and transport of carbon dioxide takes place. So oxygen is carried by blood to all parts of the body. Okay, first oxygen comes into the alveoli of the lungs, which is surrounded by thin blood vessels. Here the oxygen diffuses out from the alveoli wall to the blood, okay, in the blood vessels, and the blood vessels passes through the tissue of the body. Now the oxygen from the blood diffuses into the cell. Now how the carbon dioxide will come? So carbon dioxide is produced as a waste product during respiration in all the cells of the body tissue. So it is removed by the blood as bicarbonate dissolved in the blood, and this carbon dioxide diffuses into the blood and then it is carried away to the lungs. Okay, and there it diffuses into the alveoli and then it is exhaled out. Okay, so the first step of respiration, which involves exchange of gases between the air in the alveoli and blood in the capillaries around the alveoli, and in this exchange the blood take up oxygen from the alveolar air and releases carbon dioxide to the alveolar air. Okay, so such an exchange occurs because the concentration, here you can see concentration of oxygen is more in alveolar air. Okay, and we know that oxygen moves from higher concentration to lower concentration due to the process of diffusion. So the blood has more concentration of carbon dioxide as compared to alveolar air. So carbon dioxide moves from blood to alveolar air due to simple diffusion, and then this exchange of gases is called external respiration. Okay, and this result in oxygenated blood, that is oxygenation of blood. Okay, now next is the oxygenated blood then return from the lung by pulmonary vein to the left side of the heart, and the heart supplies the oxygenated blood to all the body tissue. Okay, now the living cell perform oxidation of simple food to release energy. Okay, we have seen the glycolysis pathway, and this is the process called aerobic respiration. Okay, which utilizes oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Now the aerobic respiration, which occurs partially in cytoplasm and partially in mitochondria of the cell. Okay, and this catabolic process is called cellular respiration. Okay, and then it involves step by step the breakdown of glucose. Okay, so the oxygen is supplied to all the cell and the tissue by oxygenated blood that comes from lungs. Now here the exchange of gases occur between the uh, oxygenated blood and the tissue cell. Okay, now the concentration of oxygen is more in the blood and less in the tissue cell. So what will happen? Oxygen will move from blood to the tissue by the physical process of diffusion, and similarly carbon dioxide concentration is more in tissue and less in blood. So the carbon dioxide moves from tissue to the blood, and this process is called internal respiration. Okay, and the blood now becomes deoxygenated. So exchange of gases in tissues we have discussed. So how the transport of oxygen will take place? In short, the respiratory pigment hemoglobin present in the red blood cell take up the oxygen from the air to the lungs. Okay, and they carry the oxygen to tissue which are deficient in oxygen, and then carbon dioxide is more soluble in water, and hence it is mostly transported from body tissue in the dissolved form in a blood plasma to lungs, where it diffuses from the blood to air in the lungs and expelled out through nostril. Okay, now inhalation and exhalation, this is the last summary. Okay, so we saw that the contraction and expansion of lung is brought about by diaphragm muscle and external intercostal muscle. Okay, in the process of inspiration, movement of fresh air into the lungs takes place as from the external nasal cavity, pharynx, then glottis, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveolar duct and alveoli, and from the alveoli oxygen passes into blood of the capillary and carbon dioxide diffuses out from the blood to the lumen of the alveoli. Okay, that means shared exchange of gases. Now the carbon dioxide diffuses from blood into alveolar air. After that what will happen? Exhalation will take place. That means in this process the alveolar air moves out of the lung, that is the foul air which contains carbon dioxide. Okay, and it follow the sequence, that is the alveoli, alveolar duct, bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, larynx, glottis, pharynx, nasal cavity, external nair and outside. Okay, so these two most often comes right the pathway, okay, of the inspiration or the expiration one. So please learn this flow chart also. Okay, now during both this process the chest contracts and diaphragm relax, or the chest will relax. Okay, so this will occur, either the chest will contract or it will relax, or the diaphragm will then contract or it will relax. Okay, so this is the difference between the inhalation and the exhalation. During inhalation the thoracic cavity expands, so here it will contract. Inhalation ribs are lift up, that is it is pushed outward and upward, and here it is moved downward, that is it is pulled inward and downward. Okay, now diaphragm become flat in shape, that means it contracts, and diaphragm become dome shaped, that means it regain its original position, that is it relaxes. Now volume of lungs increases and air enters the lungs, and here volume of lungs decreases and air exits from the lungs. Okay, so all this we studied. So thus we saw what are the steps which are involved during respiration. So the steps which are involved during respiration are: breathing is the inflow and outflow of air between atmosphere and the alveoli of the lung, diffusion of the gases across alveolar membrane, then the transport of the gases by the blood, then the diffusion of the oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and the tissue, and the utilization of oxygen by the cells for catabolic reaction and release of carbon dioxide. Okay, so with this we come to an end of this topic, that is respiration. Next we will start with the transportation topic. So keep learning, do the assignment, read NCERT. That's all for today. Thank you.